What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 craziest things that YouTubers found underwater. Also, just to quickly mention, Tommy, the original commentator on the channel who normally makes videos, is quite sick right now and has pretty much asked me and a few friends of his to fill in for the next couple of days, just to keep you guys updated on what's going on with the channel. But as always, if you guys do go on to enjoy, let's see if we can smash 5,000 likes, that would be awesome. And let's get straight into the video. Number 5, Adam Brown Adventures. So Adam Brown Adventures is no stranger to finding unusual things underwater. In fact, he's pretty much built his whole channel around it. However, exploring rivers is super unpredictable, so you can go weeks or even months without finding anything exciting. After a few of his river treasure videos left his subscribers disappointed, they finally got their money's worth when he found a gun just resting on the rocks underneath the water. Spookiest of all, it had been left in the water for quite a long time, so it could have been a murder weapon that somebody wanted to get rid of. I mean, leaving it in the water would be a good way to destroy any prints of DNA evidence, so there's really no way to tell what this weapon was actually used for. With that said, it definitely spiced up his adventure and was a much cooler find than his normal haul of cameras, sunglasses, and the occasional iPhone.
Found a gun, guys! Found a real gun. I know a lot of you guys kind of like get disappointed at the last video or a couple videos where I found a water gun, but I found a real gun this time, guys. Man, this is a great river. Check that thing out. It's a Kel-Tec.
So coming in for the number 4 spot today, we have Mockpart with a Phantom 3 drone. And thanks to KSIOlajidebt and other vloggers, drones are now a huge trend, with even more people using them and more people discovering how unpredictable they can be. Even though they let the user get some really amazing shots that they couldn't really get any other way, there's always a risk of losing them, either because the power dropped out or because the drone itself crashed. That seems to be what happened to the drone that Mockpart found on his adventure, because when he found it, the green power light was still blinking. Considering it had been sitting underwater, the Phantom 3 drone he discovered was still in pretty good shape, with the power light still on and all the propellers still attached. Unfortunately, there's basically no chance that the camera itself has survived that well, and the remote was nowhere to be seen as well. Still, it's a pretty cool find, especially in a video where the other discoveries are made up of tackle boxes and a few old bottles. So coming in for the number 3 spot, we have Almighty, who actually ended up finding human remains. Now the best thing about exploring is that you never know what you're going to get, but there are some things hidden underwater that you probably don't want to find. Old phones, cameras, and even old money all make for pretty exciting discoveries, but human remains, not so much. Unlucky for him, that's exactly what Almighty found when he went free diving in a river in Georgia. Although thankfully, he knew exactly what to do. When he first saw the black box, he couldn't stop himself getting curious and looking inside like I'm sure most people would, and at first he thought it was actually filled with cement. However, everything changed when he saw a name on the front of a bag and realized he was actually holding someone's remains from a crematorium. He didn't want to just put it back just in case somebody else found it, but he couldn't exactly sprinkle the ashes himself either. Instead, he decided the most respectful thing to do would be to call the cops. In the end, even the police agreed that putting the bag back in the water was the best idea, but it's still a good idea that he decided to check anyway. I mean, it meant he could go home with a really cool story to tell, but also knowing that he did the right thing in the end.
Pulled it up, and then that's when he found out that it was remains. Yeah, so I would just say put it back. I mean, somebody else put it here. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I mean, that's where whoever put them there wanted them to be. Yep. Yep. So that's what we'll do then. Yeah. She said put them back.
Put them back.
Yeah. Put them
in
back.
The box.
In the box. That's how he was. So
Sure.
However you found to put him back.
So for the number 2 spot, we have the Almighty again, this time finding what seems to be a murder weapon. Now, the Almighty has been on many treasure hunting trips and found many unusual objects. It would be impossible to have him on the list just once, given the amount of stuff this dude has found. He went diving in Columbus in the middle of the winter, which is a pretty painful hobby to have, but I think his finds probably made it all worth it. When he set out to explore, he was only expecting to find fishing lures, and for most of his trip, that's all he pretty much saw. But he accidentally stumbled upon something even better. Among all the tiny plastic fish and pieces of metal, there was a pistol buried in the sand. From his reaction, you can tell it's a pretty sweet discovery, as he immediately starts pretending to fire it and he cheers as soon as he gets it out of the water. Unfortunately for him though, it was one piece of treasure he couldn't keep, as he had to hand it over to the cops. The gun could have been the missing piece in a murder case, and he just couldn't take the chance of keeping it if handing it in could help solve a crime. It's kinda sad, but imagine how cool it would be to know that your hobby helps solve a murder case completely by chance.
Look at this. Tell you that.
You think it'd be any use for you guys?
Because we're gonna run the serial number.
Yeah.
We'll run the serial number, find out if the gun's been stolen or something, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your help, guys.
No
Thanks for
problem.
coming down.
Appreciate you calling.
Appreciate it.
Be careful out here.
I will.
Now for the number 1 spot today, we have Mr. Technical Difficult with a crazy doll in a taped up suitcase. Now all the discoveries on this list are unusual, but in this case it's impossible to figure out how it even ended up in the lake at all. When Mr. Technical Difficult and his friends saw the huge white container floating on the water, they joked about it being full of cocaine, but they thought that it was most likely just going to be empty. It turns out they were wrong both times, as what they found was a lot creepier than an empty box and more confusing than a container full of drugs too. It was duct taped shut, but when they opened it, they got one hell of a shock. The container only had one thing in it, a fully dressed, pretty lifelike doll staring back at them. Not surprisingly, it freaked everybody out, and one guy even thought it was a real child at first. But the main question here is, why would anyone secure a doll like that and then abandon it in the water unless it was haunted or possessed or some shit?
Load it over. It's like Christmas. So you got one of those hatches. Open the hatch. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, wanna see?
There is a body in it.
No. No rats or anything. I was supposed to threw their kid in there.
You this kid.
Like, you sure there's really
Wait,
a body in there?
maybe there's cocaine in there.
Anyway, there's our video on the top 5 craziest things that YouTubers found underwater. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe so you see whenever we upload a video. Again, Tommy, the original guy who makes videos, should be back very soon for you guys. He's just pretty sick right now, so he's needed a few friends and stuff like that to fill in for him. But as always, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys are new around, and we will see you all in the next video.